Nope.
Hello, dear listener. All this month, the videos will revolve around horrific encounters on social media. These videos are in partnership with the new social media app, Tidbit. Tidbit is a fundamentally new take on social media and revolves around self-discovery via engagement and social perception. Give and receive honest feedback on everything you post through an anonymous rating system that hides your identity when rating and only reveals the identity of the post's author after it's been rated. Daily Tidbit is the in-app social game that generates a brand new, universal question every single day. Users can only view answers after they provide one themselves. Questions can range from "What's your spirit animal?" to "Who is your celebrity crush?" The more you play, the more you learn about your friends. Take it a step further by rating your friends' personalities by selecting their strengths and generating one of 16 personas. Once 5 friends have rated you, you can unlock yours. At the moment, my friends say I tend to be outgoing, creative, improvising, and feeling, which makes me a free thinker. But just barely. Just like in the real world, personas can change over time. So get started today and begin the journey to discover you. Available on iOS and Android, link in the description. Number 1. This is definitely not the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, but it is the most recent. I moved across the state I'm in to a larger city to be close to my family. At the drunk request of one of my roommates, I drunkenly decided to re-download Tinder. All was well, and I was cautious not to make plans or give anyone my contact information until I was sober. One guy seemed overeager to get my Snapchat, but I figured I could always block him or report him to the police if things got too weird. The next day, the conversation got normal, so we exchanged Snapchats. All of this was right before I was taking a trip back home to make a friend's wedding cake, and I told him I wouldn't be able to meet up for at least 2 weeks. Of course, this prompted him to ask me every single day, "What's up? Wanna kick it?" Needless to say, if I ever did, I didn't want to anymore. I had a blast at the wedding and eventually made my way back to my new home, and finally got around to messaging this guy back, sporadically at best. I don't like to lie to people, so I told him I was not interested in hanging out anytime soon. Cue some silence, finally. About a week later, he hit me up with another "What's up?" and I say not much. He then proceeds to inform me, out of the blue, that he, quote, only lives 3 blocks away, and to check my Snapchat map. My heart sank. I'd turned on my location while I was away, and forgot to shut it off again. I was convinced that this was it, and I, and possibly my roommates, were going to die, or at least be injured, because I was an idiot. I've dealt with more than enough nice guys who did not even have my home address to know that this could turn out very, very poorly. I checked where he lived, turned my location to private, and prayed to anyone who would listen that he'd drop it. I told my roommates to be extra careful, let my family know, the whole 9 not getting murdered yards. Thankfully, he recently blocked me on Snap, but I don't think I'll let my guard down anytime soon. So, overenthusiastic Tinder Stalker, let's not meet. Ever. Number 2. Let me start by saying I, a 24-year-old female, downloaded Tinder to see what it was all about. I didn't put too much thought into it. I never even took it seriously. I never take much seriously, actually. Most of the things I do are for shits and giggles. I think I tend to forget that the internet is not a game, and there are real-life people behind that screen. I get on the bus back home after a long day of running errands. I sit down, and from the corner of my eye, I notice a heavy-set man staring at me. I'm used to being stared at, so I ignore him. Also note, my Tinder account has been officially terminated months ago at this point. I sneeze, and this big guy says, "Bless you," so I say, "Thank you." He was, again, heavy-set, with full hair, green eyes, and an olive complexion. He hands me a tissue. It's clean, don't worry. And then gives me a piece of gum, 5 gum to be exact. And I say thank you again, and throw it into my backpack. "1 mile," he said. Based on how he was speaking, I figured there was something not right in his head. His voice was low and slow. So I kinda just look at him like, "What?" He then repeats, "1 mile. That was on your Tinder. It said you were 1 mile away. I recognized you. We talked for a little bit, but then you stopped chatting." He then offers me a piece of chocolate. I nervously giggle and tell him that I deleted my account. To be honest, I don't remember ever chatting with this guy. When I had Tinder, I would just swipe right on any and everybody because, like I said, I was on Tinder just to goof around. He asked me repeatedly for my number, and I gave it to him because I'm really bad at rejecting people in person. He immediately called me to confirm that it was my number. At this point, I got off at a different bus stop, close to home but not too close, and sped walked my ass back home. I threw away all of his candies and blocked his number. Long story short, no more Tinder trolling for me. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this week's video and the final video of the Tidbit crossover for the month of June 2020, year of our Lord. If you enjoyed it, take that like button and swipe right, maybe chat a little bit, exchange numbers, take it out on a few dates, invite it back up to your place, have a few drinks, rub its shoulders, and then turn down the lights. Throw on that slow jam mixtape from high school and proceed to smash it. That was... okay, sorry about that. This is the last you'll be hearing of Tidbit for a while, but not the last, I hope. So again, if anybody has any questions about Tidbit or wants to download it to give it a try, link down below. My name on it is Dan David, but you might have a hard time finding me if we don't have any mutual connections. So just let me know if you want me to add you, and we can get connected on Tidbit. Have some good times. Until next time, everybody, remember to stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.